This is going to be a tutorial on how to use GarageBand. And so I'm going to show you how to do everything in the app so that you can create your own accompaniment for your compositions that you will do. I'd want you to watch this video and then come up with questions for me to ask next time I see you. So to create your composition, you're going to touch the plus here and you are going to select Create New Song. So you're going to do Create New Song. Okay, so then this is where you can pick which instruments you want to do. So there's lots of different options. This would be something that you probably wouldn't use for this project because you would need to plug in your own guitar, and we are not going to do that. This option would be if you were going to record yourself singing, which we are also not going to use for this project, but you could do that. This one is another recording one. So we're not going to record anything. We're going to use the sounds that are already on the iPad. So this one, you can create some different drum beats using this. This one is you can do some different strings, some different string parts. This is bass, keyboard, guitar, drummer. So this one you can kind of select a beat. That one's a kind of a cool one to use. It'll create a beat for you. Then you've got keyboards and drums. So I'm going to select that I want to try some different drum things. So it's going to give me this, and I can do some different drumming patterns on here. So I can do a clapping sound. And you can do different things there. So when I'm doing this, I'm just playing around. I'm not recording anything. Let's say I'm playing around, I really like the way something sounds, and I'm going to do, and that's going to be my sound. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the record button. And then I'm done. I'm going to stop it. Okay, so then I can play the recording that I just made. Oh, never mind, hang on. So I'm going to go back and play the recording. And then you can hear that it stops because I stopped playing. Okay, so then if I want to kind of see where I'm at here, I'm going to go in to here. So this shows the track that I just created. For this project, you need to have one track for each person in your group. So you're going to need to create more tracks. Okay, so if I want to add another layer, so I've got the hip hop drum machine, I'm going to add another layer. Okay, so this time I want to do, let's see, let's do this. The drummer one. So I'm going to do this one. Okay, so there's all these different things you can select. You can select which drums you want the drummer to use. If you want them to use some different things, you can select it. And here you can say, okay, I want it to be loud, and I want it to be pretty simple, so I'm going to kind of go up in here. If you want it to be quieter and simple, you go down here. If you want it to be lots of different stuff and be complex and soft, so I'm going to put it right in there. Okay, and then I'm going to say, you know what, I want lots of fills, I want lots of that. Okay, and I do not want any swing. So then to test it out, okay, you know what, I don't love that. So let's try this one. Okay, and I think that one sounds pretty good. Okay, so now let's go back and look at my tracks. So now I've got that one added in with that. So let's listen to how it sounds. I'm going to need to rewind it here back to the beginning, so I'm going to slide that back. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to slide this back. There we go, and play it. Okay, so then because my first track was only this long, this one keeps going. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you know what? I want this one to keep going for 8 measures. And so if I'm here, I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, never mind, I don't want to do that. So I accidentally just duplicated the machine, which I don't want to do. And you can switch these around. So if I want this to be up here, I hold it down and drag it up. So this one, I don't want that. Well, that's not what I wanted to do either. So I'm going to get rid of this one. So I'm going to delete it. Okay, so now this, I want to loop it. So I want it to play again. So it's going to just repeat it, okay? And you can loop it as many times as you want. So you would continue to add tracks and add different instruments. I'm not going to do a whole one right now, but you would continue to do that and continue to add instruments until you've got everything that you want. And it should all kind of match up. So then when I am done and I'm ready to save it, it's going to save it automatically as just my song. Okay, now obviously if there's more than one person using the iPad, you don't want it to save it just my song, because then you're not going to know whose is whose. So you need to rename it. So you're going to do select and you're going to need to rename it, which I'm trying to remember how to do. Well, I just copied it and I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to delete that copy on accident. There, so when you touch on the title, it'll let you rename it. So I'm going to call this Mrs.Kienitz composition. You can name yours whatever you need to name, just make sure that it doesn't have the same name as something that's already on the iPad. Okay, so then it's going to save it. So then I know that this one is mine that I'm working on. So I would like for you to come up with some questions for me for next time, and we'll talk more about this and we'll get started with this project. Thank you.